Should I be a Filipino? Do I deserve this?
I, Kyle Douglas Jennermann, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines.
We could be in Manila right now. I could just get wasted and we just walk down the street. Somebody would just yell, Kulas!
Hey, Kulas!
Hey, what's up? How are you? What's up, man?
Alright.
Alright, my friend.
You gonna earn money, or like, what about your career? I should be trying to become the best Filipino I can be every day.
Na 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 la 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 la.
So 2014, I was just tambay, chilling in this family compound I lived in. My manong, not official manong, okay, I have no relatives who are Filipino, but he came in, looked at me, and went, Kulas. And I was like, ano yan? Like, what the heck? You know, Bisaya, unsa na? And then my barkada who were there were like, Kulas. Like, what is going on? And then it just spread. So it was given to me by the family I live with in Cagayan de Oro, and then it just spread through my barkada, and then went on the internet. And it's been the biggest blessing, man, because imagine, like, ano pangalan mo po? Kyle. Everyone's like, Carl? Kyle? Pero ngayon, ano pangalan mo? Kulas. Oh, Kulas! Like, madali. Yeah, Kulas, what's up? So it became really nice. Like, I became Kulas. Becoming Filipino, it wasn't like my mission to get citizenship. It was just to take positive things that were happening and becoming a part of my life here. That's why becoming Filipino. But when the journey took that turn of events and when I really became a Filipino, it was amazing. And so that was really cool. But saying that, it was also kind of scary because I just knew that I was gonna be, like, people wouldn't believe it in a sense. And I kid you not, I've probably come and gone from the country maybe a dozen times already the past 2.5 years since I got Filipino citizenship. And when I use the passport, even just the other day, when I came back, I walk and I see Philippine passport line, foreign passport line. I go for the Philippine one. Almost every time the people are like, hey, no, sir, over there. And then I go, hua! And I take out the passport. They're like, oh my gosh, okay, no, go. So I know, like, I'm not the typical, usual looking Filipino. So it's also been kind of funky. After staying in the country for almost a decade, I mean, there's the thought there of, oh, I wonder, like, is it even possible? You know, can you become a Filipino? First thing I thought was, do I deserve this? And then I realized, well, it's not really appropriate for me to say if I do or not. I mean, I have no right to say who deserves to be a Filipino, right? You know, I came here and I'm 24. I'm 38 now. So at the time when the citizenship journey began, I think I was 34. So I'd spent my entire young adulthood living here, immersed with Filipino families, literally living with them in a compound. All of my barkada and friends in the country were Filipino. The Philippines was shaping my young adulthood. You know, if I'm gonna become a Filipino, why not in my 30s when I can actually use the rest of my life to try and do positive things with the country as a Filipino? That whole citizenship journey, at first I felt uneasy, right? Saying, like, I want to be a Filipino, should I be a Filipino? Then I realized, wait a minute, if you're gonna be a Filipino, you should want to be, because that's what you should feel. You should want to be a part of this country and want to try and do good things with it. So I'm still always forever gonna be Canadian. I mean, I tattooed my island and the flag on my foot here, right? Next to, obviously, a tattooed being Filipino in the country. And that's to remind myself that no matter where you are, you know, you always are gonna carry with you who you are. I would say the first time I ever went to Basilan. And I'm here now, Malawi Beach in Basilan. I'm going to enjoy this later and show it to you guys. And I say that because the first time I went there was 2016. And that's a time when it was still going through some difficult moments in regards to a little bit of extremism, some conflict. And so the cool thing is, since that trip, I literally was just there 2 weeks ago for like my 10th time to Basilan. And I've seen it progress and become so much more peaceful, so much more open, and really grown in a positive way. So especially now, seeing the positive difference, that reminded me that, hey, you know what, like, we really need to be careful with how we perceive places. And we should all also believe that places maybe that do have issues or struggles, that they can become better. Everywhere I've ever been, I've always been with Filipinos, together, on the ground, in their communities, whether it's with tour guides or without, and so it's not me who's proven it, it's Filipinos have proven it with me. I'm super intrigued if you can actually drive all the way through the middle of the island. When I go to some areas that maybe a lot of people perceive as difficult or dangerous, always remember too, I'm not just like running in there without any education, just throwing myself, yeah, it's safe, right? No, I'm going there having learned a little bit about the community beforehand and also treading respectfully. You know what, we could be in Manila right now, I could run around and I could just get wasted and yell bad words to people and do bad things, and you know what, I'm probably gonna get hurt. It's gonna be dangerous. So it's really how you act, how you show respect, that's going to shape your experience anywhere you go in the country and anywhere in the world, really. So for me, actually, one of the reasons why I started doing what I'm doing was to share positive education, hoping that if foreign nationals see how, my life is positive here because I like to believe I'm respectful and open-minded, and I don't come here and I don't go, hey man, why don't you guys do this? Because that's what they do where I'm from and that's the better thing. No, if you think that way, you're going to get smacked in the face. Because you shouldn't be doing that. You should go home. If you go somewhere new, you should, sure, apply things that you've learned in a positive way and maybe share those things, but you should never demand that people should act a certain way or show you, or give you a certain thing just because of where you come from. So this is the cool thing. I say this all the time. I don't care when people call me Joe, because I understand where it comes from. It's a G.I. Joe thing. Hey Joe, it comes from the Americans, right? And that's what a white foreign national is called, Joe. Down south, they call you Milliken, short for Americano, like Milliken, right? But what I do is anytime anyone calls me Joe, if I leave here today and I walk down the street in a local barangay and somebody goes, hey Joe, I'll go, oh, hindi ko Joe, pangalan si Kulas, nakatira dito, pero taga Canada dati, ano pangalan mo, Brad? And the reason I do that isn't because I am offended at him saying, hey Joe, it's because I want him to realize I have a name, I'm unique, I come from somewhere else, and it's important that we recognize that. So don't get me wrong, it's okay, I understand culturally that you've called me Joe. But if we don't fight that, eventually it's just gonna blow everybody, I'm not just some random guy who's the same as everybody else. I'm unique, just like every Filipino is unique. So I always try and challenge that. Okay, so I think in the Philippines, something I've learned from really immersing around the country is there's no such thing as no. It's and I'm gonna say in the positive sense, okay? What I mean by that is, it's we can do this. We will figure this out. Let's say my house has a problem. Something's falling apart. Even if we don't know how to do it, we're not gonna give up and say no, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna make it work. Maybe in Agusan Marsh, for example, where it floods every year. So the locals, rather than just build their houses somewhere else and say, we can't live here anymore. No, they built floating houses. The kind of ingenuity and the ability to always persevere, that's something I picked up. Always have food ready. This is called Lindo. I actually saw it in Maguindanao before. It's their local style of ginataang bilo-bilo. But here they have corn, tapioca. It's warm. I think that's kamote. Oh, this is really good. Dude, is this with gata? Anywhere you go in this country, it doesn't matter if you're in the Cordilleras, in the middle of Nueva Ecija, down with a small Islamic community somewhere in Maguindanao, every Filipino, whenever you meet them and engage, hey, let's eat, they always offer food. They always have food ready, it seems. So make sure, if you're a Filipino and you always have food ready at your house, because you should be inviting people to eat it with you. Technically, my first family I lived with was in Cebu, but I would say after staying with that family, when I moved to Cagayan de Oro, which was also my first trip somewhere I stayed, Northern Mindanao became my home. It became the community that really brought me in and gave me all my early life lessons in the Philippines. And to this day, if you come to Cagayan de Oro with me and we just walk down the street, probably every 20 seconds, somebody would just yell, Kulas, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up? I still really feel connected to this community everywhere I'm going right now. Right, jogging, cowboy. Oh. Hey, Kulas! Hey, what's up? How are you? What's up, man? Is this Andrew Spiramono? Hi. All right. Bye, my friend. Dude, like, I really grew as a Filipino before I was a Filipino. I'm a huge advocate for trying to get Filipinos around the world to share about their country in a positive way, because that's how I was introduced to the country. It wasn't because I came traveling here. It wasn't because where I grew up in Canada I had Filipino friends. No, it's when I was working in Hong Kong, my work colleagues were Filipinos. And they, just their vibe and their attitude of like, on the weekends, we'd all patak, chip in and like eat and drink together. And we work really hard job, but then they'd also have a good time, even when we were like, should be tired and miserable. So they're the ones who invited me, and it just so happened, a lot of them are from Cebu and Cagayan de Oro. So what happened is, we went Cebu first. They had direct flights back then too, and then from Cebu, it was Cagayan. But then I did end up in Quezon City, because some of my original work friends were from here. And I always tell people this, even though I stayed in Northern Mindanao and I lived in Cebu a bit, at this moment in time, I mean, I'm living in the metro. As long as I'm in the country living, I'm happy. You can put me anywhere. After I became naturalized, people were like, man, are you going to change the name? You know, is it going to be like, I am Filipino? Or I look at it this way, like, I became a Filipino citizen.
I, Kyle Douglas Jennermann, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines.
But for me, this is now just the beginning. And I should be striving to become the best Filipino I can be the rest of my life, right? So it's like if you're a doctor, you become a doctor, do you stop becoming one every day? No, you should be striving to become the best one possible. So for me, I'm always going to keep it becoming Filipino to remind myself, hey, I should be trying to become the best Filipino I can be every day. What's next? The same. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing as long as it continues to be positive, both for me and other people. Will I try different things, like be in a magazine? Sure. You know, will I sit down in a room and have an interview with you? Sure. Why not? That's all part of the journey, right? So I don't really have a specific ultimate thing that I think I'm working towards, but maybe I will say this: it would be cool to create like a little NGO or something, possibly to do with like education. Because I feel that education can be really impactful for, you know, for this country and for everyone. Oh yeah, my wife's like such a big inspiration. Eh? So we actually met 2016. Funny, my first 3 years I never really dated in the Philippines or anything. I was so focused on my passion and purpose, you know, and just immersing that I never really thought about that side of my life. I used to say, people would ask me, oh, are you going to marry a Filipino? I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll marry a Swedish girl or Danish. I don't know, I wasn't here thinking about that, right? But then when I met my wife, who came from a production background, she was already out of that world. But since meeting her and when we were dating, and her now working with her community, which is a weaving community, and trying to carry on their local traditions, and then creating the social enterprise and seeing how hard she works just to support her community, yeah, she's like a super big inspiration. And I feel like the coolest thing too is like I have a partner who genuinely understands my life. I mean, we were dating for like 7.5 years. I don't know the exact, I should know before we got married. I think it's 7.5, just over. She knew me so well before we got married, and she respects the life I have. The cool thing is seeing that she has this thing that she works so hard on too, and allows me to feel comfortable that I know when I'm taking off, she's already independently rocking it on something as well. So I'll say something interesting. My parents have come here twice. The first year, I think my parents were like, oh, it's just a phase, you know, he's likes the Philippines, he's doing something. Second year, they were a bit like, you know, man, like, you gonna earn money, or like, what about your career? I think by the third year, they were pretty terrified, because especially, I come from the generation when you don't earn money on social media. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016 was not big money earning years. I was just going in debt, right? Not in debt, but spending my life savings, doing what I do because I believed in it. And my parents are witnessing this going, what are you doing? Like, to the point of being concerned. Okay, Terminal 1, Manila International Airport. It's almost 11 p.m. It's February the 21st, 2022. 2020, and this is going to be becoming Filipino's greatest moment of all time. Nothing tops what's about to happen. But here's the best part. When they first came in 2020 and they saw the community I had around me, they met my friends, they met the families I lived with, and they experienced the country, that's when I could sense they were like, we're proud of you. Like, this is cool. It's awesome. So seeing my parents' perspective shift as well and seeing them be really stoked on the Philippines and talk about it now overseas and be happy, like, that's been awesome. Now I'm thinking, oh, if my parents see this, are they going to be like upset that I'm sharing personally like this? But at the same time, I think they would respect that. You know, imagine they saw me in Mindanao before, but then they came to Mindanao and they had a great time. So now they're happy, right? You know, so yeah, that's been very overwhelming. I know my parents would never want me to forget who I am, right? I mean, my dad is a naturalized Canadian. He was German before. He naturalized to Canada. My parents raised me in Canada. So I haven't asked them directly, but I would believe that as parents, you know, they saw me grow up as a Canadian. So they would want me to hold on to that no matter what, right? But I think when they saw how important becoming Filipino was for me, and they see the joy I got being a Filipino, they know like that intrinsic motivation has given me to be a part of society even more. I think that they're happy for me. Don't get me wrong, I think just like a lot of people, they were a bit confused at first, like, you know, you want to be Filipino? You know, but I think they've seen the journey and now they see how intrinsically motivating and important it is for me, so I think they're happy. So I would say, first and foremost, you have to be open-minded. Be willing to accept that what you're going to experience is going to be foreign and different to what you're used to. If you really are thinking that this is a place you might want to stay for a long time, take it slow and really try and go around and figure out if that's actually how you feel, because it's different your first year here to your 10th year here. Another thing too though that was really, really effective for me here, all of my friends in the country, the people I was hanging out with when I first started coming, were Filipino. I wasn't in an expat community here. I didn't have foreign national friends in the country. Do I have a few now? Yes. And do I have many around the world? Absolutely. But here, I was always surrounded by locals, by Filipinos. And that helped me build a better understanding of how things work. You know, what people do, what people eat, how people talk. It's important to immerse yourself with people and be around people who are in the place you're experiencing, so you can really get a better understanding of it. Don't put that on YouTube.